Hey everybody, this is Ryan from K&R Adventures. I just wanted to give you a quick precursor to this video, just to kind of explain the way that the video is laid out. So I did this over 3 days, the helmet refoam that is. Day number 1 was I removed the old foam and I removed the harness from the helmet and all the hardware. Day number 2 was remounting the harness specifically. Day 3 was cutting the new foam to fit and gluing the new foam into the helmet. So you'll see a lot of stuff in the video about will this work. I wanted to add this little prologue here just to say that it actually does work out great. The helmet looks phenomenal. It's held up perfectly. You know, there's a lot of sections in the video where I say, well, I don't know, we'll see how this goes, X, Y, or Z, and the answer for every one of these scenarios is perfect. So this thing fits absolutely phenomenally, and I could not be happier. Even the chin cup, pulling that out and putting it back in, I need to cut these, but you can see here it's a little off in the inside here, the angle here, but I mean, it doesn't matter. This thing is great, holds up great to impacts. I take some pretty hard shots, and I just could not be happier. So that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and I sincerely hope you enjoy the following footage. Yeah, like you can see, see the glue in here?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
We'll just leave this one in. See how this works. Gooey. This is fucking, oh my god, it's so rusty. Look at that.
Holy cow.
That's it. There's this. Let's see here, where was I? So you take the hardware out, and you gotta, mine are rusted, so you gotta pop these out. Got it. Sweet.
Helmet plumbing.
That. Okay. Jeez. Got it. Didn't jam myself in the eyeball.
Ringo.
Bring it. Sweet. Okay.
Wow, look at that.
Cage.
It's so light, just right like that.
So I was confused at how these things worked, which is why I made this video. So Bauer makes, what they do is they have this harness here, this piece, you can see the shape of it. This bolts into your helmet. And then what they do is come in and glue this foam to it. Now, what happened with me is just over time the glue started coming out, and I didn't know how this worked at the time. I probably would have just re-glued it, but I've never been super happy with this foam anyway. It just takes forever to dry. I guess I just have a really sweaty head. So I shoot a lot of water on the top of my head, so it would take like days to dry unless I went in with a towel and like squished everything. Squished the water out, which I don't know, maybe that's normal, but it really bothered me. So that's when I started this. So now I have to separate these. I'm going to try to use the heat gun, and we'll see what happens. So something to note, most of the pieces you pull out of the helmet, the anchors, whatever they're called, are this size, but there's a larger size for the chin strap. And I figured that out by undoing it from the chin strap like this. There we go. Sorry, I'm fighting the rust. So I just undid it from the chin strap, and I just happened to look down and see that this one was huge compared to the other ones. And of all the ones I pulled out, everyone except for these two on the chin strap seem to be the smaller size. And remember, the ones that go on your forehead they look like they're permanently fixed in here, whereas the other ones I could all pop out. So I don't think that's a big deal, but just something to keep in mind. And this, as far as I'm concerned, is all garbage. So I'm just throwing it off to the side. So I'm putting all these in a little vessel here, and I'm just gonna soak them in some vinegar just to try to break up this rust. Like I said, I'm hoping I might have a spare set, a helmet kit lying around here somewhere that has these replacements, but I don't remember. Bauer does not sell these harnesses, as far as I'm concerned. I looked at them, tried to find them, didn't see them for sale anywhere, so I think I'm on my own. I'm gonna have to reuse this. So I wouldn't be surprised if they also do not sell the anchors here. You have to go slower, or else the foam starts to break up here. This is like dough. I can believe this, it's hot. Oozing right off now. More or less. More adhesive I need to remove, but it's off in the trash pile. Alright, so I have the crown left. Man, that's convenient. Something else I didn't mention, why I wanted to get new foam is because over the years this Velcro piece kept falling out. You can kind of see I just glued it back in where the old foam separated. which always bothered me. I just don't think the quality is very good. I mean, I guess it lasted for several years, so maybe it is pretty good, but I don't know. I just expected a little more from a $1,000 helmet. A few months ago, I bought this helmet refurb kit from like A&R, I think, and comes with a lot of hardware, but I do not see the interior pieces, which makes sense because that's not supposed to be a replaceable part. It's not a Goalie hardware. So yeah, you can see this is the old one here and the new one. So they look the same. These ones are a little shorter. Maybe not. Yeah, they're just a little shorter. I'm sure they're gonna thread that in like that and return it into the hole here. So just put it down in there. Now I'm grabbing my new helmet hardware. Starting it with my hand, screwdriver. Okay, so you got to really torque this down in order for it to actually be flush. Because I hand tightened it enough to where it felt like pretty good, but it was wobbly. So I think these are meant to just be like really cranked down. I really wish you could get a replacement for these. I'm sure you can, honestly. I haven't gone to the ends of the earth to find these. But I mean, just regular helmet replacement kits. The hardware kits are just right off the shelf at any hockey store. You find a million of them on the internet. Why can't you find these? You know, I don't know. Maybe Bauer's just really cagey about the internals of the helmet. All right, so I see I'm just doing the same process over and over again. Put that in there. Really got to give that thing a twist. So the good news is this isn't it's not automotive or something like that. So this is, I think it's okay to not twist it down to where you can't move it anymore. So, for example, I don't think they're going to vibrate out. Also be a little wary. So if you use the heat gun, you can see kind of flicks these up. So I'm gonna have to do something. I might reheat it to maybe, if I can flatten it out, I'm not sure, or just leave it because these are kind of okay. So I think the logic behind these harnesses, and I didn't know this, I thought they were just like glued in, end to end. I think the logic behind these is that the foam doesn't need to be glued to the polycarbonate or whatever this is. I think the foam just needs to be glued to here, and so you just have these 3 anchor points for your entire back plate, and that's okay because it's squeezed against your head. There's no other force, so it's like probably okay if these are loose as long as you have these anchor points. So that's what I'm going to go off of, and we'll just see what happens. So this one is the special one that rusted out. So you can see I'm going to just use a T-nut in here. Like that, and I'm going to put I have screws of various lengths. I do this with hockey skates because if you put one of these T-nuts, the thickness between the T-nut and the footbed on the underside of a hockey skate varies as you go through different holes. So what that means is you can't use the same length screw for every opening or every T-nut you install. So I have this kit down here, like I said earlier, of varying lengths. So I'm gonna just try to guess here one at a time and just see which one is long enough to seat without stabbing me in the back of the head, which is critical. Just to be super duper careful and super duper safe, I'm going to put the black rubber washer on there too, just so it's the same surface pressure size that was on the original one. Again, I don't think that matters because we're not dealing with like massive forces here, but if I can replicate the original mechanics, I do want to. So I'm just screwing this in here. All right, so I can already feel this screw is too long. You can see it's already coming out of the back. You know, a little bit too much, so grab a shorter one. So that feels pretty good, but the only problem is this T-nut here is rotating with the screw. That's probably just because of the rust. So I'm just gonna try to hold it. This happens with skate blades too. They're not nearly as spinny. Also, I do have a lot of WD-40 probably left over on here, so I'm sure that's not helping. So I'm just gonna try to pressure this down here. Probably not the best answer for now, but I'm just gonna leave this because all that matters to me is that I can get the foam back on. And I have two rock solid pieces up here, and this one's a little spinny, but my thinking is I just need to get the glue off. I'm gonna put the new foam on, and then once it's on, this will kind of be held in place. And if I need to fix it or replace it, then I can always just unscrew this, maybe squirt some Loctite on there and screw it back in, and you know, just see what happens. Or alternatively, let's say this doesn't work at all. After a few weeks, it's just, you know, it failed and I just have to pull it out and ignore it. You know, big deal, I'll just have one hole here and these two will still hold the foam on. And it's gonna be pressed against the back of my head, so it doesn't seem like it's too big of a problem. So that's the process for this one. Oops. Next, I'm gonna do the same thing for this. And I'll try to methodically go through and place every one of these, because they're sided. I'll try to place every one of these in the right spot for where they're going. The nice thing is they match up with, you know, whatever this material is. So for example, you can see that one matches up there when you place it in. So I think that'll kind of be my guiding light with this project. So that's next.